Y'all was good. Checking in today with something new. I know as a kid when I grew up, my parents really didn't teach me how to cook food. I was more like the microwavable, frozen food type of person, right? So when I went to college, I was just basically frozen foods and microwavable ramen noodle type foods, right? So recently, I've been seeing my mom cook every once in a while, and I was like, you know what? How about I record her cooking for the people, the little ones that's watching right now that were my age back when they were 8, 9, 10, even 13, even 15, 16, and they ain't learned how to cook food yet, or their parents ain't taught them, the basic foods to cook, so that they'll be able to cook food when they're, older and grown or have their own family. So I was like, you know what? I'll try every once in a while to make a tutorial or how to cook a certain item. Every time I see my mom cooking something that is very delicious or something that I know that is eaten by the majority of people around the world. So today I'm gonna be having my mom cook some steak. In these videos, you'll rarely ever see me specifically make any of the food, but you'll definitely be able to see how it's done and how it was cooked. So that's something different to give y'all. So like, share, and subscribe, and let's get straight to this video, you dig? Alright, so my mom has all her ingredients set up. Like I said before, we're making steak. Where's the steak at, Mom?
It's round steak.
Okay, so I got a couple questions for you for people like me and new beginners. Okay. Where do you even get steak from?
I got mine at Sam's.
Okay, Sam's. Can you get it at Walmart and Kroger?
Yeah, you can get it anywhere.
All
Everybody
right.
likes to buy their steak someplace different.
The main thing with this steak is, does it matter what type of steak it is? Can it be any type of steak?
Yeah, I like different cuts of steak. Round steak is a thin steak, so it doesn't take long to cook.
Gotcha. But if I was just a new beginner and it says steak on it, could I cook it the same way that you're cooking this?
Only if it's round steak.
So this is only for round steak?
This is only for round
Okay,
steak.
so we're going to show people how to cook round steak only.
Right.
The specific. So if it doesn't say round steak on it, you cannot cook it the same way.
Right. This
So
is
round
what
steak.
a round steak looks like. It's a thin piece of meat.
Gotcha. Round steak. So
take
today
long.
we're going to be cooking round steak. All right, gotcha.
So what I'm making is round steak. Round steak is a thin steak. You don't need to season it much because it's so thin. What I did with this steak is I used seasoning and I used Worcestershire sauce.
Show us the Worcestershire sauce. Which one is
Right
that?
here.
Gotcha.
I'm pointing to it. And then pepper,
Uh-huh.
garlic powder.
Okay.
And this is my favorite steak seasoning. It's Weber seasoning.
Gotcha.
And then I use a little bit of soy.
That's Weber seasoning and soy.
And what you do is put it in a bag and let it sit for an hour or maybe 24 hours.
Now, time out. When you got this steak, when you bought it from the store, right? Round
Right.
steak from the store, was it frozen or was it already
it's
like
already
regular?
ready to cook.
Okay. Can you cook it like this frozen though?
No, you have to thaw it. Anything you cook, you want to thaw.
What is thaw to people that don't know what thaw means?
You might put it in your microwave. It'll say thaw, and it'll ask you what the pound is, and you can.
But as far as thaw, it's just squishy again, right? Like regular.
Right, so it's regular.
Gotcha.
room
It's not
temperature.
frozen. All right. It's room
You
temperature.
Never want to do it room temperature.
So you only put these seasonings that you just said when it's actually thawed out.
Right, and then I put it in the bag.
Gotcha.
And I let it set for about 5 hours.
So the round steak has to go in this bag for 5 hours in the refrigerator or outside
In
the
the
counter?
refrigerator.
In the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator.
And it doesn't matter what bag you use, sandwich
It
bag?
doesn't matter. Just use a bag so you marinate it. That's what you call marinating.
Well, what if we like really ain't got nothing? What if we got only trash bag?
You use a trash bag.
All right, perfect then. All
Or
right.
if you don't have it, you don't even have to use that big of a bag. If you don't have anything, use a regular Walmart bag.
Gotcha. And one more last question about the prepping part of this. Do you have to put this in the sink and wash the meat when I get it, or I can just put
Always
seasoning on?
clean your meat.
What does that mean?
Any meat you get, just rinse it off in the water.
Oh, just put a little water over. Okay, and it's before the seasoning, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then season it. Put it in a bag. You can put it in an hour or all day. The longer, the better.
But 5 hours is pretty much good. That's like
That meat is marinated.
gotcha.
Then I'm going to eat mushrooms and onions with mine. So I've cut my mushrooms into fourths, and I've cut my onions just like this.
To
And
little
you
slices.
Can use, you can use any type of vegetable you like. That's what I'm going to eat with mine.
Gotcha.
Now what I'm going to do is grill it, because remember, that steak does not cook long. Any kind of round steak, it takes a few minutes to cook. I'm using a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, get you a little bitty one. And we're gonna let that get hot. And then I like to use sesame seed oil.
Gotcha.
If you don't have sesame seed oil, use butter or just regular oil.
Gotcha. Like vegetable oil and stuff
Right.
like that?
I just like that flavor for the meat.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna coat a little bit on the bottom of our iron skillet.
And you're not cooking this in the oven?
No, we're see the little marks on here on the
Yep.
pan?
Mm-hmm.
We're grilling it.
Gotcha.
And
So when you
want
do
it
round
to
steak,
high
you
heat.
make sure y'all grill it. She likes that, okay? So you like to grill yours instead of put it in the oven.
Right.
Could you put it in the oven?
Yeah, you can put it in the oven.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't take long. Remember, it does not take
So
long.
for people that just had an oven and their stove was broke, what would you suggest they put it on degrees and how long?
Put it on 375 and cook it no more than, I'd say, 15 minutes maybe.
And should I flip it or no?
No, just let it cook.
In a pot, pan, what? Like a...
In a flat pan.
Gotcha.
Because it cooks fast. It's
All right.
a thin piece of meat, and you don't want to overcook it. Or if you like your food, some people like their food crispy, well done,
So you won't put the steak in there until what?
till it starts getting hot. See where it's popping?
Yeah.
Because it's popping a little bit, but
They got hot quick. You just put the fire in there.
well, that's because the cast iron skillets get hot quick. And because that oil's popping, we're gonna put something on top of that stuff from popping up everywhere.
Gotcha.
But we're gonna leave it there because we want it hot.
Y'all see how hot she has the
You want it
stove.
smoking hot. Now I've got a gas stove. Some people have electric. Just put it on high so that is burning hot.
Gotcha.
Because you're gonna cook it no more than 3 minutes on each side, and it's done
That quick.
that quick. Okay, now that our skillet's hot, you see that smoke coming out?
Yes, I see the smoke, the fumes.
Okay, right. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, but we want it hot.
She turned the fumes down just a little bit.
And then we're gonna lay our flank steak on there.
You think we're gonna flip these?
Yeah, you're gonna flip them, but you gotta let them cook first. You gotta let one side cook good.
And how long are you gonna cook this right here? You said how long?
Cook those maybe no more than 4 minutes on each side.
4 minutes. And you always should have something over the top of it,
Yeah,
or
you
what?
should, especially if it's flat, and otherwise it'll be everywhere. So
Gotcha.
always just put
Have
something.
something to
I always
cover
just, these are really handy to have because I have them in different sizes. If you don't have a lid to go over here, that way you can just put it on top of it.
Show that steak one more time, cooking real quick before we mess with it. Y'all see it? Hey, looking real tender. Nah, I don't even know what that means, but they're looking good.
See where that's browning around the edges?
Yeah.
It's got about 3 more minutes.
Oh, that's
And then-
cooking fast.
and Then we're gonna flip it over. We're gonna give it about 3 more minutes because it cooks fast. Now we've been about 5 minutes. It's time to flip those over. See the sear on there?
Woo-wee! You cooked
Flip
that
this
perfect.
one over, and we're gonna let that cook. And just flip them over, let them cook another 5 minutes. Remember, it doesn't take that long. Another 5 minutes.
That was super
See
quick.
there? Yep.
That's looking good too.
And you might have a little end come up. If you want to cut it, you can. You don't have to.
Oh, so that can cook still.
Yeah, that can cook, but you don't have to worry about it. Flip it up.
Let me ask you a quick question over here about the seasoning. So you never did say how much seasoning that you're supposed to
Okay,
put
what I
on
do-
on the actual round steak.
What you do is, if you just want to do a round steak, the best thing to do is just use this seasoning only. And just put this on there. No salt, no pepper, just this seasoning only is perfect for steak where you don't have to put extra stuff on it.
But how much of it am I supposed to put on the actual steak?
On a flank, on a round steak, put a little bit. Don't over season your food. All you need is a little bit on each.
So just sprinkling on.
Just sprinkle it on the top and then turn
Sprinkle
it
on
out
and
to
sprinkle
a
on the
little
bottom. And that's for all the seasonings. Worcestershire
For all the
sauce, the
seasonings,
black
that's-
pepper,
right.
the soy sauce, and all that.
bit. When in doubt, just use this.
Gotcha.
Only.
The Savior
for nothing.
Steakhouse.
Anytime you make a steak, use this.
Gotcha. All the extra. That's just for the extra people that.
Right, that's
If you
just
want
for
to do
the
extra,
flavors. Everybody has a flavor they like, so we're going to check these because, like I said, they cook really quick.
what they looking like?
They're looking like good.
That good. All right. Perfect. So how many minutes we got left with
We
this?
got about 2 more minutes left, and then we're going to flip those babies off.
Bet.
Now, our meat is done that quick.
Ooh wee.
It is ready to go. And what we're going to do is just stick it on our plate.
Y'all see how good that's looking. Come on now.
See those babies?
Imagine you 13-year-old and you could just already know how to cook stuff like this. Come on now, man. It don't get no better than no round steak. Come on.
Now, you leave your heat on. Turn your heat down a little bit,
Turn the fumes back down. Look at that.
and then we're going to cook our veggies. Put our mushrooms
slap
in
them on there.
Just put them on there and let them cook. Let them sit and cook. Turn that up. Let it sit and good. Let it blacken on it, even if you think it's like burn blacken. When I tell you blacken, I mean burn and blacken.
Quick question though, what's your chef name for anybody that wants to know?
Chef is Chef Pearl.
Chef Pearl, that's what she wants to go by. Hey, Chef Pearl, it is.
What you do is let it get dark, let it blacken. See what that's blacking it? See what that's doing?
But it kind of already looks black from the beginning.
No, it's not.
It's extra
Go
white.
closer,
and then...
go closer so you can look. Because those are still dry.
Mm-hmm.
Once they start cooking, they start turning colors. Let that blacken it, because this is the iron skillet. It's going to get super hot.
Gotcha.
So what you want to do, you see that smoke? So it's starting to blacken them. So now you want to turn them a little bit.
You're making it seem like this is mandatory. Like you gotta have the veggies with the round steak.
You
what
don't have to. It depends on what you like.
But the way you
Because
cooking it and making it seem like
some
it.
people like green peppers, red onions.
Oh, I
Some
forgot about
people
that.
like asparagus.
Oh, so whatever they favor.
Whatever veggie you favor, you do it immediately after. See how it's getting dark?
Okay, I see the difference now. Yeah,
See
yeah.
it? Now you can cut off your skillet because it's still going to cook.
Gotcha.
Of that heat.
So turn the skillet off now.
I turned it off because it's still going to cook because that's an iron cast skillet. Those are hot.
Gotcha.
We're going to put that there.
We're just gonna let that sit for how long?
And it's ready.
Oh, it's ready now. Gotcha.
Don't overcook it. Mushrooms are good and moist, and tender, and ready. And so we're gonna get those.
Got my mouth watering right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, you just slap it on there like that?
And just put it on top.
Ooh wee! Nah, hey, quit playing.
And just be careful because it's hot, and you don't want to burn yourself. And these are heavy.
Imagine you a little youngster knowing how to cook like
You're done.
these. It's done.
And voila.
Boom. Well, this completes the round steak itself. This was a W. So if you didn't know how to cook round steak, now you know how to cook it to perfection in detail because of Chef Pearl herself. That will conclude this video. I will give y'all another video in the future of another item that we cook or another food that we decide to cook. Who knows what it might be? It's whatever she eats that day. So guess what? Stay tuned. This is a disclaimer for anybody that watches my diet videos or my weight loss journey. No, I won't be partaking in eating any of this food. It would be useless for me to show y'all how to make vegan food because the only thing I eat is Chipotle bowls. And I know stuff that y'all want to cook is stuff that is more toxic that I can't eat. So you will not be seeing me eat these foods. These are just foods that I know a large majority of people eat. And I want to show younger folks how to cook it. And be able to learn how to cook food at a young age, you know, so that you're not struggling to make food in the future. It's already something that you already know how to do. And to be honest, all these how to cook videos will come from whatever my mom was eating that day. So if she was making steak, what she making today, I'm just recording it. You get what I'm saying? So you learning whatever she's eating, you're gonna learn how to make, basically. Whether it's side meals or main course meal. But yeah, that'll complete this video.